What's up, you guys? It's What How 100, and I'm out of retirement to make a video that I really did not want to make. I had to come out of retirement to make a rant on a company me and my friends have loved and supported for such a long time, and that is the soap brand or men's cosmetic brand now, I guess, of Dr. Squatch. Now, Dr. Squatch was a company that was seen as a cool new way to buy and collect soaps. It was a natural soap bar company, and they did cool collaborations with things like Star Wars, Marvel, and all of that. And then they had their natural, great smelling stuff. They had those funny ads with like the Squatch in the shower, and they were just such an awesome brand to support. And in the past few months, unfortunately, they've started to ally themselves and they've started to collaborate and promote complete degeneracy. And it's time that people finally speak out against this, which people have been. And what made me make this video is the most recent news with their collaboration with Sydney Sweeney, more specifically, their creation of the Bathwater Bliss, Sydney's Bathwater Bliss bar. And this was just the breaking point for me. In this video, I want to not only discuss, we'll start off with the newest drama, which is the Sydney Sweeney, but I also want to discuss the other degenerate brands and the other degeneracy Dr. Squatch has promoted itself with, allied itself with, and promoted. Um, in the past few months. But let's start off with Sydney Sweeney. Now, Sydney Sweeney, for those who don't know, is an actress. But at the end of the day, you guys, when you go and look up Sydney Sweeney, she's known for two things. She's known because she's very attractive, and the second thing is because at the end of the day, guys, she's a porn star. If you go on Reddit, if you go anywhere, if almost all of her movies are just her in some sexually charged role, where at the end of the day, she's nude in these movies. So it doesn't really make a difference if you're selling yourself on OnlyFans or if you're selling yourself in a movie. It doesn't make a difference. So Sydney Sweeney is this porn star, and Dr. Squatch first collaborated with her, I believe, back in November when they released the body washes. And they had the more tame ads like the Sydney Sweeney body wash genie. That's a tame, that's a normal ad. But the first ad that they created with her in the bathtub and she was like calling people dirty little boys or some crap like that is so unbelievably disgusting and just so sexually charged. And it's just like a pornographic movie, like dirty little boys. She's calling people. And the problem with Dr. Squatch is, first of all, pornography is just complete degeneracy, completely disgusting. And for Dr. Squatch to be partnering themselves with someone who is basically in this industry is, first of all, disgusting. For them to use this like terminology in this advertising of in like this sexually pornographic charged way is also disgusting. And then the fact that they're promoting this stuff, this degenerate stuff, to their target audience. Now, for the target audience of Dr. Squatch, there are three main target audiences, I would argue. The first is the teenage boys. I mean, I started collecting Dr. Squatch when I was 13, and I'm still 15, and I can see dude, like this stuff is getting marketed towards me. I'm getting these emails, I'm getting all of this stuff, and I can even at 15 understand how disgusting this is. But the problem is, some other people are not going to understand this, how disgusting and degenerate it is. So Dr. Squatches, you know, their their target audience, you have the teenagers, you have the young adults, I'm talking people in their 20s, and then you probably have the unks that are around 30s. Even my dad uses Dr. Squatch, but that's because I kind of make him use it because I give some to him. But there's also a wide range of people, but I would beg to argue that the main target market of Dr. Squatch is teenage boys, which is why they used Sydney Sweeney. Now, the problem with using this figure that is, first of all, in this advertisement that is portraying such a pornographic scene, and then you use this person to promote this stuff, is that you're promoting this degeneracy, this pornographic degeneracy, and all of this onto the youth. And that brings men and that brings teenagers to a very dark path. And a lot of people struggle with addiction when it comes to pornography and all that other stuff. And it's just completely disgusting that Scotch is okay with this. They're actually promoting this. And so, okay, they had their first ad with Sydney Sweeney back in November with the body washes. Well, come to May of 2025, a whole 7 months later, they doubled down, but this time they make it even more degenerate. They make it even more gross. And they are officially announcing that they're going to be releasing a soap bar that is her bathwater. Guys, this is just absolutely disgusting. The the terminology and the general idea of someone's bathwater being put into a soap bar that other people are going to use on themselves is just, first of all, that idea is just completely disgusting. Second of all, like I mentioned, it's advertising this degeneracy of this person and like this sexual charge way to people, and it's the even greater degeneracy of using bathwater to bathe yourself. That's even more gross and disgusting, and they're just promoting that to the youth, and people are calling them out. It's not only is it so disgusting that Squatch is promoting this stuff, that they're selling this stuff, that they're degrading themselves, but it's also making the brand look like a complete joke. People are seeing this and they're calling people out. If you look calling them out, if you look on their Instagram, this has 300,000 likes and then 500,000 shares. That goes to show you, when there's more shares than likes, people are sharing this because it's weird, it's disgusting, it's a joke. The problem is Dr. Squatch doesn't think this is a joke because they're actually selling this product. And people are just calling them out. This brand, they've destroyed their image because they're selling this disgusting new product. They're promoting these disgusting, degenerate things. And people on the Reddit are not having it. People are canceling their monthly memberships. There was one guy on Reddit I saw, he said he had been a Squatch subscriber for a whole 7 years, and now the people are canceling their stuff because people have had enough. And other people are calling them out, not even Squatch collectors and fans. I saw Santa Cruz Medicinals, one of the biggest creators in the world right now. He's calling them out for promoting this stuff. It's just so unbelievably gross and disgusting. And to see this brand that I once loved, that was once seen as this cool brand, turn into this mockery that's promoting this absolutely disgusting stuff, is just incredibly disheartening and just very sad to see. So that's the new news with Sydney Sweeney. But there's even more degeneracy with Dr. Squatch. Back in February, they partnered up with Trojan. And Trojan, for those who don't know, is a birth control condom brand. And I don't even need to explain why it's just disgusting to be promoting this brand to teenagers and young adults, to be promoting condoms and sex essentially to the youth, just because, oh, we made a funny bar, it's called Bricked Up. Like, haha, you get it, guys? And then each time you bought this bar back in February, you would also get a pair of condoms. They would send you a pair of condoms. So what if I had gotten into Squatch this year and I'm a 13-year-old boy and I buy my soap, and because it's a funny name, right? It's Bricked Up. It's a funny name. There's no age verification, and I pull and I get condoms. Well, what am I going to explain to my parents? It's so sick. It's so gross. The fact that they're just promoting this stuff, even more degeneracy. Like, go ahead and have sex with as many people as you want because you have the Dr. Squatch condoms. Absolutely disgusting, absolutely gross and degenerate. And they're promoting this stuff to the youth because at the end of the day, a majority of Squatch's, uh, you know, fans, collectors are youth and young adults, and they're just promoting this degeneracy from Trojan, this disgusting brand with this disgusting product of condoms, and they're just promoting that idea that this is normal, that this is okay, that this is funny, and it's not, and it's disgusting. And unfortunately, they didn't get much pushback for that as they should have, because I would even beg to argue that's even more gross than what they're doing now with Sydney Sweeney. But that's not even where it ends. You go back to November, they partnered up with Liquid Death. Liquid Death is a drink company that's incredibly demonic. If you go on Liquid Death's website, I'm reading it right now. Bill of sale for one eternal human soul. You can sell your soul through a contract to this company. Now, you may say, oh, this is a joke. It's not real. It's not supposed to be meant like that. Well, the problem is, it's not even funny. It's not even a joke. It's not a funny joke in the slightest. It just seems weird and it seems wrong. This idea of they're partnering with this brand that has to be some, in some slight way, you have to recognize this is some demonic presence in this brand through the availability to sell your soul, because that's just gross, and it's demonic. At the end of the day, selling your soul is demonic. And the problem when you stack all three of these degenerate brands, you're promoting this porn star, you're promoting uh, condoms and just having sex, and then now you're promoting, and or not now, but before you were promoting this demonic brand, you're just three different types of degeneracy that Dr. Squatch is just outright promoting, outright collaborating with, and they see no problem with it. And it's just absolutely gross and disgusting. This has completely alienated the fan base. Uh, People who are religious, who are fans of Squatch, can just notice how disgusting and how this brand does not care about your religion or your values or your beliefs. They just could not care less. Whatever gets them more attention, whatever gets them some money, they'll go ahead and do it and betray their fans. They'll make these disgusting products like bathwater soap. They'll go ahead and make it just for some clicks and some likes. They don't care about the fan base anymore. People are canceling their memberships. They don't care about lifelong fans. This is a corporate company now that could not care less about their consumers or their community or their market. Now all they want is clicks, likes, and some attention, and they're willing to stoop so low like they have been in the past few months. So that's what I have to say. I'm going to leave the rest of this video to a friend of mine. He's another Squatch collector, and he'll tell you his thoughts on these degenerate situations Squatch has put themselves in.
What's up, guys? Paul here. I'm a little sick today, but this is just a release that got me out of my sick bed, and I had to go stomping around, running my mouth about this. So this is definitely a wild release. It really seems like a joke, but no, it's legit. I think they announced this as like a joke maybe a month or two ago, and now it's an actual thing. So this is definitely some rough stuff. You've come to your lowest of low when you are making a product for 5 seconds of pleasure. Instead, let's say a company that I'm aware of, let's say Hot Toys, the action figure brand. They will make a Pennywise or an Anakin Skywalker, and people get these figures and they have them in their house year after year after year, and they love them because they're so passionate about it. And that passion never goes away. But because it's a real, genuine product, that's how you make a real product. You want to change the world. But what Squatch is doing, they're not changing the world with this. They're just making a buck off of people not being able to control themselves, which I think is just really, it's really foolish. It's really irresponsible. You think Squatch would have they would have a little more sense knocked into them. I mean, they've got to be a multi-million-dollar company. But, this is the low that they've come to. Now, bringing up what Hal has said, about the liquid death, the bricked up, I think those are some very valid points. And the Sydney Sweeney thing, I think he's right about that. I am not familiar with her work or what she has done or what she's going to do. All I know is I am aware of what she's done with Squatch, and that's just a very sexual thing, like the commercials, the new soap bar. It's definitely not made for children, and whenever kids are buying these SpongeBob SquarePants and Star Wars soaps, like, I don't know, Cheetos soaps, freaking Spider-Man soap, they're gonna be signing up for these emails, these phone texts, and whenever they see that giveaway enter for freaking bathwater, it's gonna have them scratching their little bald heads, and they're gonna be really confused. And this is nothing that should be imported into children's mind. I mean, not even anyone's mind, but we can't fix society like that, so we gotta at least protect the kids because the adults have already screwed themselves over. I mean, literally. But yeah, guys, that's about all I have to say. Yeah, I know Santa Cruz Medicinals has made a video about this, and he brought up a good point that it's just kids are going to be seeing this. But yeah, the bar itself actually is just like super inappropriate. Anyways, guys, that's all I got to say for this one.